Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Trent Zyori podcast. This is episode number 150. Can you believe it, Trent? We made it. It happened. We made it to 150. We got here intact.
The magic episode.
The magic episode. And
wow.
It happens to coincide with TI9 and all the teams being qualified. I'm so excited. We were at the qualifiers at the BTS Hub, at least for half of it. We casted some of the opens. We are now Southeast Asian Dota experts. All the other regions, well, we know a little bit. We're going to fill in some of the gaps. We're going to talk pretty much all TI9 and anything else that's been happening here in the Dota sphere. How you doing, bud? How you recovering, getting back on a normal sleep schedule after living on the Southeast Asian schedule for, 8 days consecutive, something like that?
Yeah, I think so. I just kind of stayed up. I slept the 4-hour red-eye home, and then I just lived my life normally after that. Now I'm good. I'm back on schedule.
I kind of did the same. I pushed the day that I left and stayed awake for a full 24-hour cycle and then fell asleep at 8 or 9 p.m. and then slept for 10 hours. And that got me pretty good. I almost
It's really the
jet
only
lag.
play. It's the only way to recover. You can't sleep it off. You gotta wake it off first, you know.
Yes. And that gives you motivation to just fucking fall over like a zombie and actually catch some real R&R and reset. So before we get into the TI stuff, of course, this podcast is brought to you by Rivalry.com. They help make this great content possible. They provide ethical betting all over the globe, and you should go over and register if you haven't already. They'll take all of your Dota and other esports betting needs safe and sound. If you can't play legally, you can still play for free. Or I shouldn't say legally. I said if you can't place bets legally, like if you're in the United States like me, we're still behind lands like Canada that allow people to bet on sports because they're reasonable adults and they have actual freedom north of the border. But hey, that's a conversation for another time. You can hop in onto the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome is awesome because you can win real money without wagering anything. And let's hop right over here. This is from the Epicenter group stage. Last podcast we did, Trent and I made our picks, and we're going to go over them here. These are my picks that we're looking at. The total jackpot for this guy is $200, and that gets split based on how many people place in first or second based on these predictions. As you can see here, old Zyori went 5-3. So I did not make the money. How'd you end up, Trent?
I went 4-4. I got the hard ones correct, and I biffed the easy ones. I tried to be edgy, which worked out a couple times, you know.
Okay. I nailed the first 4. They were all pretty straightforward one-siders, you know, your secrets, your EGs, your liquids. But OG TNC got that one wrong. OG definitely won there. NIP, LGD, that was a 50-50. I also lost that. And VP Alliance, surprisingly enough, I went for VP and Alliance took it. So those were my 3 kadoozies.
Yeah, I kadoozied on... I had the OG... TNC, I had TNC. I had NIP over LGD, but then I took the underdogs in the Alliance VP as well as the VG forward.
Okay.
And that doomed me. So I wound up 4-4. I also took Gambit over Liquid, which was a 4% choice. Hey, it went 2-1. All right, that's respectable for 4%.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's some value locked in there somewhere, I'm sure. Now, I want to bring everyone's attention to this leaderboard. Only one person was in the money for this one that predicted all of them right, because I guess some of the 50-50s were difficult. Unless I'm reading this wrong, I think one dude or lady won $200 by choosing the right selections, just win-loss, which side is it? I mean, that is pretty impressive. That's not a bad little payday for just making some predictions for the Epicenter group stage.
Almost more impressive. 0 people got none of them right. 0 people got only one of them right, and 1 lone person got just 2 correct. Just, you know, kudos to you as well, whoever that was. But yeah, they just get $200 all themselves. That's pretty great. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude. So, well, I can't remember what the bot command is, but there is a link. You'll find it in this YouTube description, and below here on the Twitch page, it says, welcome to the Thunderdome. Click it, go to it, register for the Thunderdome. I know how much you guys like your bragging rights in Twitch chat, right?
Yeah.
So this is the ultimate bragging rights, and you can wave that paycheck and be like, we're ordering in tonight, baby, woo!
Yeah, send us any screenshots of you guys beating us.
Yeah.
That would be also, I would be impressed.
Yeah, see if
Someone
you can.
who can defeat the 5-3 Zyori.
Can you beat 4-4 Trent? I don't know. It's pretty tough. You were only beaten by a couple hundred
Just
people,
average.
so you know. But for real, big thanks to Rivalry for making this stuff possible, man. They are an awesome sponsor to work with, and they are sponsoring our TI9 Jungle Jam event. I don't know if that's actually been announced yet, but it's not a secret. We're giving them some love as they are making that whole event possible. They were one of few sponsors willing to step up and say, you know what? I don't know what this event's going to produce. This is a totally new concept, but we like it. We want to support it. Tell us how much you need to make it possible. And they made it possible. So kudos to those guys, man. That's some good shit right there. The Jungle Jam. Those tickets are also on sale, by the way. If anybody wants to come hang out in Denver for TI9, since it is relevant to this episode, it's going to be a good time. 19th to 24th. We are competing with the rebroadcast. We're taking replays, and then we're casting them live. We're assembling talent. There's starting to be some whispers about who's going to TI, so we're sending out our own invites. The real TI, the TI Denver, the USA time zone, dude.
That's how we'll sell it to him.
Trent's going to be in
real
China,
TI.
and then just wait, dude. We're going to have all these viewers. Archie's is going to be watching our stream, not yours. So prepare to eat shit, my friend.
Let's hope that's the way it's set up.
So it's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we'll see some of y'all there. Still some ticket sales coming in. I did get a message from somebody, and I want to give this guy a shout out. He said, hey, I'm about to book flights to the TI Jungle Jam. I can see how many tickets have been sold, and it's not a lot. Is there any chance that this event gets canceled? And I just want to put it out there, 0% that this event gets canceled. Because remember,
that's a legit email to send. Shout out to that guy.
Dude,
I'm impressed.
He's planning. He's thinking. But for real, we're 100% locked in. We have a deal signed with Rivalry. They've already paid some upfront cash. We've already started investing in the event. The venue is 100% locked in. We're partnered with them. Same venue that we're going to be hosting Midas Mode at. So it's a partnership that extends beyond just this single event. I think everybody that's on board with it understands that it's a new idea. It's kind of wild, and who knows? Who knows what's going to happen and how many people are going to turn up. So be confident in knowing that it will happen 100%. Rain or shine, we're going to be there. We're going to have talent. We're going to be streaming it. If you don't show up, we're still going to be there, and we're just going to have fun without you. So that's what you're going to miss out on. You're going to hang out with me and Suns fan and a bunch of other people I can't say yet, but it's going to be really cool. Probably not Trent, though.
Fingers crossed. I hope to not see any of you there.
Spoken like a true Ferengi. So,
yes.
Anyway, enough selling out, man. Let's talk about the actual TI9 qualifiers. What a hoot that was. 8 days in the new BTS studio. Can I just take a moment to say, what a fantastic facility.
Like, geez. If you go check out their YouTube, I'm sure they have a tour somewhere amongst all the Smash stuff or, all the other games they've been running, Mortal Kombat. It is so good. Oh, my God. It's like a giant playhouse. They are a bunch of, they're just playing in a fantasy land. Like, truly. You know, all those content guys, you couldn't ask for anything better for what they have.
I think that's a pretty accurate analysis. There's just hardware everywhere. Offices, studios, backup studios, a lunchroom. I mean, even just the general area outside of production that is combination lounge, combination set. We were just hanging out. There's couches, beanbags, TVs. We were watching fucking Seinfeld in the office, just chilling, distracting all their employees after we were done our shift. Well, 9 a.m.
We had to
Seinfeld.
stay awake.
Just like, hey, who wants to watch Black Mirror? Rob, you're going to love this one. These dudes start banging each other. He's like, no way. Lo and behold, there's Rob on the couch like, wait, so you're telling me they were playing Mortal Kombat? Whoa, Rob. It's Striking Vipers, okay? Striking Vipers. Have some fucking respect for the fake IP of Black Mirror, my friend. It was awesome. Everyone that works at BTS, man, they got to be living something close to the dream. That office space is sweet. They're working real shifts now. People are there for 8 hours and then they clock out. Trent, it's the dream.
It is, man. They're grinders though. I mean, they're there for a lot longer than 8 hours. They don't have to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of those guys are coming in. They're there at like 6:30, and then they're staying late because it's just traffic anyway. Why don't we all just play Melee for 3 hours? Then I'll go to bed at 9. It's just, it's awesome. I definitely look forward to going back.
Yeah, I mean, it's even nice for talent too. They kept us on pretty strict 8-hour shifts, and really, that should be the gold standard for events going forward now. And sometimes, you have to push, and you have longer days, and there's just more matches or long matches or whatever, and that's cool. But I think the goal should be a regular 8-hour workday. There's a reason that's the standard. That's a pretty good amount where you can put in a college try. By the end of it, you're pretty fucking tired, but you're not overwhelmed, you know? It makes sense, dude. It makes sense.
Oh, it was good. I was in the hyperbolic time chamber of getting my ass beat in Melee. That was good.
Yeah.
Getting better and better. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't even touch Melee, dude. Ultimate has ruined me completely. I used to be able to at least like do some moves in Melee. I can't even control the characters anymore. I just fall off the edge. I mean, seriously, it sounds like a joke.
The difference. No, it's true.
Ultimate just moves so completely different. The inputs feel, I mean, to me, just faster and more fluid. But I understand the Melee. After playing Ultimate so much, I get the appeal of being able to actually combo people and really like seriously control your character if you're good enough with the inputs. It's I see the allure now. I'm starting to come around to this whole Melee thing, dude.
Oh yeah, you're getting there.
Well, I've been arguing with people now. The same thing that we talked about. Prove to me that Melee isn't the greatest game ever created. I started arguing with Basecamp. He's like, no way, Dota, definitely. Melee's not even close. I'm like, whoa. Now, Dota has been changed a lot. What makes Dota good is that it's this ever-living, breathing thing that has new heroes and items and patches and changes, and that's awesome, but I'm talking about like just a game that exists kind of in a vacuum, you know, and I guess there's probably been some tweaks throughout the times, right?
Well, there's been stage lists and stuff, too, so it's not totally fair.
So it's not totally patchless, but, I mean, that game is like it seems to be ageless almost. It's locked in this perfect vacuum of analog input control and all these crazy response times, and it's just so fucking specific and crazy and difficult that nobody even wants to make games like that anymore. You know, it seems like the longer it goes on, that game just keeps getting better. Whereas most games from that era, you go back and play it now, and you're just like, yeah, it's okay. This just feels like an old video game. Melee feels like, dude, this is pristine. You know,
I'm glad you're coming around.
Well,
you're
I just like being provocative and making bold statements like that. And I could see Basecamp was making the face, the wheels started turning a little bit, where he's like, all right. You start struggling to come up with...
Dota's still our number one.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I mean, when you really think about it, you start struggling to come up with games that have existed for so long in such a prolific sense where there's like a meta that's developing and, you know, a whole competitive scene around it and viewer numbers that are not even just plateaued, but up there. I think the best argument you can make is StarCraft. Brood War is up there. That's a great vacuum game. But go back and play a game of Brood War right now in the original. That shit is brutal. It's pretty outdated.
Wow.
Man.
So let me get this straight. You spent about 6 hours talking basically about that and probably about 14 talking about crypto. Does that sound about right?
Dude.
Did you grind that poor guy out of his brain?
No. Well, he educated me. So that's the thing. He actually like studied cryptocurrency and blockchain stuff as part of his computer science degree. So, and he's like one of those people that studied it and isn't really that into it. He thinks it's like what's your target for Bitcoin? 0. He thinks it's going to 0 inevitably. That's his only conclusion. So like he's definitely kind of a naysayer, and I love that. Someone who's actually educated on the technology and doesn't believe in it is a fascinating anomaly to me in this current landscape. So yeah, we talked for ages. He explained the Lightning Network to me, which was quite fascinating. You know, he also explained to me that a lot of these ICOs and crypto projects don't really have anything to do with blockchain. They talk about blockchain, but the whole point...
They don't use it.
The whole point of Bitcoin is that it's trustless, right? All I need to know is how much I'm sending and the address I'm sending it to. And outside of that, the system takes care of it. It's a trustless system. That's the cool part about the blockchain. That's what makes it so secure and unhackable and decentralized. If you're just doing something like Uber, where you're swapping out the payment processor just with a blockchain payment processor, there's nothing inherently decentralized about that. Like, it's going through a blockchain, but people are still putting things into the blockchain and receiving stuff on either end, and it's not trustless. You're still trusting somebody to put the right data in to get the fucking shit out of the machine. You know what I mean? So nobody's doing anything novel. Cryptocurrency is like the only novel adaptation of blockchain that we have. All
so
the
now,
other
guys,
shit.
You understand what the sitting around at the hub was like right here.
There you go. See? And that's just the tip of the iceberg, Trent. You see? That's just the tip.
I know. I can just keep going forever. I can't handle it.
It's fascinating.
So far from caring. So far away.
Oh, God.
Like pushing a little button. It just goes. Jesus.
Pick
All
up
right,
some
well,
Dogecoins, dude. That's all I
anyway.
can say. That's the
Yeah,
TLDR.
okay. There, that's the TLDR. Perfect.
Anyway, it was great though. Like with these 8-hour shifts, we had the downtime to talk about such pressing issues like politics and cryptocurrency, and
Seinfeld.
and Portland and Seinfeld, yeah, and Melee. So on to the Dota, dude. Should we talk about
Yes.
Southeast Asia? Is that like ancient history now, or
It makes the most sense to start there, I'd say, considering that's where we spent all our time.
yeah?
We get to do the open qualifiers. If you guys missed any of that, we basically did all of Southeast Asia and China for the opens. We dabbled a little bit in some other regions, like at the end and the beginning of our ship, but for the most part, it was just all C in China. And some surprises, I suppose, like coming out of China. I think not heavy favorite, but if you had to pick one team, probably made the most sense to take E home. I would agree that RNG was close. CDEC was not close. They made a very impressive run, all the way from the open qualifier. I mean, great players, especially like XM, who showed up earlier on LGD this year when he stood in for Maybe, looked great. But the fact that they were able to go so far to the final and then lose it in the fifth is rough. But RNG, like they lost 2-0 to CDC, and then they took down IG, who were looking pretty hot. Then they took down eHome, and then they took down CDC in the final. So can't say RNG didn't grind their way out of that one. Big super with the coach.
Yeah, damn.
Back.
I was like, let me zoom in a little bit here. This is a little overview of the bracket. I don't know how to zoom in on this browser. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm surprised you followed China so well. I got off that time zone and then just kind of saw some updates, I guess.
I was just kind of going through the replays over time. I'm just starting to watch the grand finals now.
What happened to Serenity, though? Shadow, ZYD, PYW, Raji, 1-6 in the round-robin group stage. My Atlanta, Trent.
Yeah, they only beat Newbie, which is not the team to beat.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't catch any of their games, but it looks like they didn't have it.
It's IG
Aventador.
squad. Okay. Aventador.
That must be why he changed his name for the qualifiers. He knew it wasn't going to go so well. Next qualifier, he'll come back as Shadow. Everyone will be like, oh my God, Shadow's back.
Yeah, right. So I know you kind of just mentioned this as you were going over the bracket, but what the hell happened to IG? I was telling Slacks about this. I forget which region we were talking about. I was like, dude, this always happens. Multiple regions, every TI qualifiers. Like, as an expert, as someone who's cast every TI qualifier since like TI4, IG dominates the groups, then gets to the bracket and gets shit on 2-0, 2-0, boom, eliminated. What the hell happened there?
I don't know. I don't know if they had a very specific strat going. It looks like in their final series, they went double Arc Warden, attempting to pull it out, and lost both.
Okay.
So,
and series before that looks fairly straightforward. Played a Morphling game, very meta with some push. Then tried to play an anti-mage game. Looks like kind of a dumpy draft.
it looks like look at their times that they lost all their games. 34 minutes, 29 minutes, 34 minutes, 33 minutes.
Yeah.
So they just it looks like they never got online in any of their games.
Just losing lanes. Wow. All right. Interesting stuff out of China then.
Yeah, but the majority of our focus, of course, as we weren't there for the group stage and the playoffs of China, as we were covering Southeast Asia on the first half, which I gotta say turned out a pretty damn exciting region. It was a ton of fun to do.
The opens were surprisingly good. I'd be curious to talk to some of the other open casters and hear what their thoughts were about those games. We definitely saw some stomps. I mean, there's no surprise there. But once you get into the round of like 64, round of 32, those are some pretty tight best of ones. We saw some close games that were super tense and some upsets. The big one, Mushi's squad not even making it out of opens. Eliminated.
Yes, the Geek Famers.
Both. Yeah, it's kind of the Geek Fam squad. Yeah, it's kind of brutal because there were 3 spots for each open in C. Only 2 teams were invited directly to the regional, and that's Mineski and Boom ID. Mineski definitely seemed worthy of it. Boom ID, they looked pretty shaky, didn't even make top 4 to move on to the playoffs.
I think Mineski and Janespers were the 2 top picks going into the qualifier. Seems about right. Not after the first day, though.
Yeah.
After the first day, we were all like, uh-oh, Mineski. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And they obviously cleaned it up super hard with the 2-0, and Janespers looked like the most lost team ever. 26-minute win, 20-minute win. That
classic.
Was a crazy day one.
Yeah, same classic kind of deal where Janespers dominates the group stage, looks almost unstoppable, and get destroyed. I mean, that was like our first playoff series. We're like, all right, cool. 45-minute series, dude. What do you want to do? Seinfeld. I mean, they were awful games. I remember that Monkey King mid. Gunnar got absolutely destroyed in game number 1. In game 2, it just fell apart. They picked the clockwork, and it just fell apart so fast. Ugh. But, of course, made it all the way back for the rematch. Mineski and Ginespris, 5-game series. Team Amplify and Adroit definitely put up some good fights along the way, but Ginespris, Mineski really did look like the top 2 teams. And then when we got into this series, oh, man, a game that Ginespris will never forget, up 2-1, ready to win this thing. And this 45-minute match right here is where they go for the win. They could have had Roche.
I almost want to rewatch that. Can we just watch that right now? Is that doable? Do you have a Dota scene?
I could probably set it up real quick.
I mean, isn't that worth it? Like, that was the most iconic moment of that qualifier for us, without a question.
Yeah. You might have to fill for a second here, but
that was one of the most memorable things I've seen in a qualifier, and I haven't gone back and actually looked at it. And it makes me wonder, like, what happened?
I mean, I was actually thinking about it last night as I was sort of mentally preparing notes for this podcast. And I think the key thing is that there was a Roche I think it was Roche 3 with an Ag Synth.
With an Ags, and they had the DP.
So it was this moment where we kind of thought, I might need to, I think we're dropping some frames here. No, we might be okay. I have to download the Dota update on this computer. I think that's what made it feel like such a crazy all-in where it's like, dude, just grab Roche. You can probably still get another lane of barracks on top of that, and you're in great shape. You conquer this game, and instead they don't go for either and just try to end it and kill like 1.5 tier 4s and then take a shitty team fight at the enemy well. It's pretty bad. I think it, like, almost 100% the play was to back it on up.
Well, there's the match ID if anyone wants to follow along. I break the stream. Totally worth it, though.
Yeah. Hopefully, man, maybe I should just pull up the stream. Should I do that? Is that a play?
What rewatch that?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Instead
just use the BTS video. Here, I'll find it.
Yeah, I was just saying, let me exit Steam because I'm destroying our frames here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my fault.
Trent had a good idea, and then it went bust. But still, I mean, it's just, and it's such a crazy moment, too, because that's game 4 that could end the series. And then they come back to game 5, and even game 5 was pretty close. And that's where the crazy sleeper pick came out. This was a true, like, best of 5, 4-day tournament meta type deal where Enchantress is completely ignored by every team, every step of the tournament. And then in the grand finals, all of a sudden, she pops out, and she's god tier. She's unbelievably strong. Doesn't win every game, but you're like, holy shit, that Eng pick was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It was kind of ridiculous. It was a cool qualifier and a nuts best of 5. I was really glad that we got to cover that finals. It was a really fun series.
All right, I think I've got it. It really was.
I felt good about the casting, too. Like, I was genuinely hyped and excited, and I feel like that it was just like, I was fucking hype casting, dude. I was fucking into it. I love it when I'm actually into a game like that, and I feel almost kind of invested.
All right, I believe that is correct.
That YouTube link?
Yes.
Okay, let's.
I think that's the part in the game where we're going to be mostly focusing on here. Yeah, here we go. So it's like 40-second Chauvin, 74. Oh my god, dude, what happened?
All right, let me get us loaded up here. And
so crazy.
All right, so here we go. I'm at 41-42. I'm gonna press play now.
All right, go for it.
That is an Ag Synth in the pit, and they have a death prop.
I got a little bit of audio in the background. So yeah, there's an Ag Synth with cheese.
Wasn't able to buy
Yep.
it. Had to grab all these other items. The BKB, the
Ag
Link.
Synth, cheese in the
This
pit.
be
So much
huge.
time.
One of the best Aghanims carriers in the game right now.
And then
How
it's
about,
that blink,
more
man.
racks, though? I like more
That
racks.
gunner
Big yay,
blink where
some
he
racks.
just
So
goes.
I hope the judge
That's all I remember
please
about this
recall
fight
soon.
is that we're like
DD,
thinking about what they're gonna do,
Like,
and then
okay.
suddenly he's in the tier 4.
So there's a double damage too. That's the other thing you got to remember here.
Yes.
That Jug picks up the DD. They could have slaughtered Roche so fast
All right.
without even using the DP.
Oh, they're going for the
So when he blinks in like that, if you
Right
like
into
pause,
the tier
that's
4?
why they lost. Because he thought he was gonna get an instant kill on someone. He thought someone was gonna be lurking back there. He was gonna.
All right, boys and girls, we are back. looks
Oh.
like we might have definitely destroyed my internet. Maybe part of the reason why we're moving. I think we're finally back once again. Looks like I can see everything on our preview monitors. So anyway, if you want to check out that VOD, highly recommend it. It was a good one.
Beyond the Summit YouTube, please don't hit us again with the DDoS.
Go ahead and just link that one real quick. But the local will be good. So if you want to come back and you missed the beginning of the podcast, this is where we're at. Anyway, that was the fatal mistake where Genespris went too far. They lose that fight. They end up tossing the game away. And then Game 5, as we mentioned, just kind of slips out of their grasp. But it is a great storyline for Mineski, especially with Nico Baby. All right, they've got this, well, he's not a new guy, but new to their roster and a first-timer at TI. Pretty exciting. Bulgarian.
Oh, what a crazy game. I can't believe that happened. Oh, but yeah, that was a long time coming for him to make it to. I don't think he's ever been to TI.
No, definitely
I
not.
highly doubt it, but I can remember him being on rosters like forever in that perpetual like tier 2, tier 3 Europe. More like tier 2 Europe when tier 2 Europe was like I don't know how like a lot different than tier 1. You know what I mean? Like like a tier 2 team in Europe would almost never take a game off of tier 1. Like Power Rangers would knock down Europe back when Europe was one region.
Yeah.
And not CIS and Europe.
No, he's been around forever, and he's also made a lot of guides. If you're somebody that like frequents like the Dota Haven, the Game Leap, the Pugna, those kind of stuffs, he's been around there, and he's made a lot of really good educational content. So I know he's definitely got the brain for it. You know, he's a very smart guy, very analytical player.
Balkan Bears. Oh man, he's been around.
Yeah, our boy Bimbo. I don't know. Real heartbreaker. Genespris, I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the name 23 Savage. He made a lot of headlines throughout that event. It's a Thai player. Really first big breakout kind of a run that he's ever had. And I think that boy's got a future for him in Dota 2. Next season, he will definitely be on the radar for some of these squads looking for a position 1.
That guy should be going to TI.
Yeah.
Relatively close. He's in Southeast Asia. That guy needs to get a plane ticket, go to Shanghai, and go to the after party. Like,
yeah,
that would be the most valuable play in his life.
I mean, he's in Asia already too, right? I'm totally with you. Go to TI. Let's start it fun. Get Savage to TI. Let this boy network because, yeah, dreams could come true. I feel for the Korean boys though. Forev, Febby,
That's
March.
true.
I saw some of those tweets. Forget it was either Forev or Febby. But his Twitter thread was it was rough, man. Pulled on the heartstrings. That kind of like similar to what I saw from Theban when I woke up this morning on my feed of like, I gave it my all. This is my dream. We didn't make it again. It's one thing to go to TI and not perform well, but to not even to make it TI is just like, fuck, man. And it'd be different if I felt like I didn't give it my all or if I knew like specifically what I could do better, but we gave it 110%. And we just didn't do it. And that is the shittiest feeling in the world. That shit's hard to read, man, because it's true. That's a brutal reality of competition that sometimes you can play at 100% your capacity and just fucking not quite be there.
All right, I got this message like 30 times, and so I'll open it up to the floor here, guys. So we were talking a lot about 23 Savage, and I'm getting all these DMs and responses, basically like what chat says now, such as Pigeon. 23 Savage was already on C Team's radars. Got a feeling he might end up getting some offers from other regions. Depends how good his English is. I got so many messages calling me a moron for not knowing who 23 Savage was. Can you guys explain why the fuck Mineski took Nico Baby instead then? No offense to Nico Baby, but I'm sorry. This guy's insane. So if 23 Savage was so well known, and now he's on a stack of guys that were all teamless like 2 weeks ago, or like they just suddenly became teamless. Why wasn't he picked up instead of Nico Baby? Because I'm pretty sure this guy just proved that he's the fucking man, and no one actually believed in him. Is that true? Because, am I wrong? Who's taking Nico Baby over this guy?
Because Nico Baby has the nepotism. Yeah, the Bulgarian guy in Southeast Asia definitely got the nepotism there.
I don't know. I'm just surprised. I was surprised how people were just like, oh my god, Trent, I can't believe you don't know who 23 Savage is.
No, I would agree. I mean, I think you look at his team history. I mean, maybe he's been sort of like an up-and-comer, semi on the radar, but I mean, he hasn't played on a team that has a Liquipedia profile except Alpha Blue, and surprise, surprise, I don't know who Alpha Moo is, or Alpha Blue rather.
Well, either way, he definitely, like, even though he didn't make it to TI, absolutely massive qualifier for him.
Yep.
Very impressive stuff.
We'll definitely see him in the future. It was also 496 Gaming, man. That Vietnamese squad really stood out to me. They were an open qualifier team. They fell just short of making the playoffs, but I think they made some fans. I think Vivian in particular, be interesting to see where he ends up.
You interested in picking up a team there, buddy?
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw a certain somebody fly solo saying that they need an org. You know, he's looking for takers willing to relocate.
Wow.
All 5, that 5-man Neon stack.
What's
Who wants them, guys?
What's their current squad? Is it the Neon Esports? Is that it?
Yeah. So it's like Fly Solo, isn't it Rappy, right?
Yeah, this is RR, Rappy, Mark, and Scottalicious.
Those guys are good to go. Anybody want a team? That's a pretty legit pickup, not gonna lie.
So wait, what is Neon? Isn't Neon already a team org? Why are they ditching Neon?
I assume they've been dropped. That's my assumption.
Oh, okay. Dude. Team Trent and Zyori podcast. Let's go.
I can't handle that. We'd have to relocate them. Where am I going to house them here?
I don't think we have to. I think they're just open to it. I mean,
do you think we want them in C?
Good question.
Where do we bring them for the victory, guys? Where's the hot region?
I am
next
moving
year?
into a new house, but I don't know if I can house 5 Filipinos. That's going to be tight. That's going to be tight.
All right. Well, if you guys are out there looking for a team, hit them up.
That is a legit squad, actually. That is one of those kind of sleeper squads that would probably jump onto a pretty reasonable deal. And they've got some potential, man.
5 8K players, baby.
8K, dude.
It's hard to find 5 8Ks.
It's a lot of Ks. All right, I'll bookmark that one. Save it for later.
You put that one in the good ideas folder.
So
get them flown out to the Jungle Jam as analysts,
dude. And then they'll just stay. They'll just hang out for another whatever it is. Practice
6 months.
Dude.
And just play in NA. It's genius.
You know. Might be worth a DM. Might be worth a DM. South America, Infamous makes it. This was kind of cool. That our boys back from the Dota Pit Minor, the old Avernguesa squad, Team Majestic. Before that, K1, a.k.a. Hector, Chris Luck, Whisper, Schofield, Stinger, going to TI. My girl, Guashi, going to TI, the manager.
Yes.
Very exciting.
I did not catch any of South America, so I really have no thoughts on it.
No, me neither. But
way to go, guys!
This is the team that I was cheering for. This is my my biased South A. I was gonna say South A SA squad. Chris Brown and Whisper. They're okay. So they're 4 Peruvian now, and then Whisper is Bolivian. Interesting.
Yeah, I had the Brazilian boys in my picks.
Okay.
Pain seemed to crumble a little bit near the end. Infamous were looking pretty crazy at the end of the tournament. I was there for the finals day. That's all I saw.
So what happened to Team Ham? Oliver, Mastermind, Hesta Joe, Biver, and Papita.
I can't say.
They didn't make that one. They didn't make the playoffs. Oh, what a bummer.
Much to the pleasure of all the South Americans watching, I believe.
Yeah.
That would have been something if they had.
So
would have been some issues.
Let's another region I didn't get to see that much of. Let's hop over to Europe. This is a big one. Our friends over at Chaos Esports Club, Gerg. Pretty cool squad making it. Apparently, Matumba Man had a particularly good performance. I saw a lot of tweets about that. VT Faded, Matu, Kezu, Milan, Misery, a very international squad here.
They were in trouble as it started in like the group stage. They lost some of their tougher matchups, like against the Final Tribe and then Hippomaniacs, who played really well during the group stage. And they also lost even Singularity, too. So Chaos really had to pull it out. I think they played tiebreakers, right? Yeah. They ended up 2-0ing in the tiebreakers, with Sin's team being the ones knocked out. So that's what put them into the bracket stage.
Wow.
And then they had to fight from the lower bracket because they lost the tribe again. So the fact that they were able to 3-0 them in the final kind of speaks to the
wow.
the learning curve of that.
That is really impressive. They got knocked down and then 2-0'd their way through the lower bracket and the grand finals. Quick games, too. That finals was 24-minute, 29-minute, and then a 42-minute. Looks like they played DK in all 3 games, dude.
I saw Jesse tweeting a picture of DK this morning.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
They picked Dazzle in game 2, Willow in game 3, and then they had they did the classic Omni DK Morphling unkillable.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Was it a core Dazzle in game 3? They had a Tiny and a Chen. Was it a core Tiny?
Matu plays quite a bit of core Dazzle, so it probably was.
Dude, I got to go back and watch that. Especially beating a Wisp Gyro. Eat shit.
What are you talking about? Game 2?
Game 2 of the finals, yeah. Wow,
Big.
what a heartbreaker for Final Tribe,
that was
though. The Swedish boys would have loved to see them make it.
I saw some mentioning in chat, though, but they just had their that crowdfund thing, right? Remember we were talking about that?
No, what was that?
The Final Tribe crowdfund? Did we not discuss this?
I don't remember.
They had like a buy-in.
What? No, what the hell?
So you didn't see this at all, eh?
All right, no, I got to see this. What do we? Final Tribe buy-in.
Yeah.
What, they do like an IPO or something?
They had a funded by me. Sorry, page is no longer. Never mind, it's gone. Whoops, I forgot. I guess because it ended. But yeah, they basically did a crowdfunding campaign, and they raised quite a bit of money.
Is there like a Reddit thread about it or anything?
No, I only saw it on their Twitter.
So, what were they raising money for?
I don't know. Owning the team, like being a part of the ownership and everything.
Wait, what?
I
must learn more about this. This is so interesting.
So up your alley.
Yeah, and so they went like Green Bay Packers style, where it's like
right.
an org owned by the fans. That everybody gets like a vote on how to do things or something? Is it like
who to kick?
Like Reddit plays team owner or like?
You'll have to read their little paper. They've closed down their funded by me thing, so I don't have it anymore.
Was it contingent on qualifying for TI, or was it just independent of TI?
I believe it's just independent of TI. Here's another tweet.
Oh,
from
here we go.
Right there.
Own a piece of Swedish esports, and then it just goes to page not found. Ah, bummer.
But there's they had 161, 226% funded. They raised over 1.1 million. Sick. What's that? A Swedish kroner?
Whoa.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, kroner. Well, how much is that USD? Let's see here. 1.1 million SEK to USD. That's 117,000 USD. So there's 161 investors, and they funded 226%.
Oh, I found one that still works. There you go.
Link it up, dude. I have to.
There you go.
I have
Slap
to
that
see
thing.
this.
Get that on screen. Show the people.
Oh, I see an old Swedish guy. All right. Dude, look at this. Let's just read it. TFT is an up-and-coming world-class Swedish esports organization that operates a brand of professional teams and players in some of the world's largest esports titles, Dota 2, CSGO, League of Legends, and Hearthstone. In our first year, we have established a name for ourselves because of our approach to the game, being pioneers of professionalism and sophistication in esports, or Swedish esports. Together with our sponsors and partners, we are part of building the future of Nordic esports culture, and we are just getting started. We want to welcome everyone who loves esports into our club as shareholders. All right. So you can become a premium owner. Holy shit, dude. This is it's like a private IPO.
Yeah.
That is awesome. They've got different tiers of stock and everything.
Should have bought in. You missed out.
Yeah, what the fuck? How did I not know about this?
I
It
don't
closed
know.
on June 23rd. Man, I really missed out. This was a great investment opportunity. We fucked up.
Well, good thing they didn't qualify. You'd be feeling even stupider.
I guess so. What happens if you click investment opportunities? What does it give you?
I don't know. It's probably nothing because it's closed.
Oh, yeah. This is now just opportunities to invest in backpacks. Okay. Well, I'm done here. Okay, cool. Wow. Well, that is incredible. I hope that works out well for him. I mean, I think anyone who invested in that kind of banking on, oh my God, it's going to be so awesome, I'm going to make my money back because they're going to go to TI, a little short-sighted. I think you should definitely be in it for kind of like the long haul because it's not just one team. They've got brands and multiple games, and they have a vision that extends multiple years. And it's cool because I actually got to chat with two of the Final Tribe guys that weren't players, like the manager and one of the owners. I forget their names now, and I'm kind of embarrassed. But I met them at the WSOE event in Vegas, and there's a lot of downtime at that tournament. So we were just kind of chit-chatting about stuff. And they talked a lot about having this vision of like bettering the ecosystem and kind of working very closely with players and having players involved in the org and sort of alliance-esque, but some differences and variations. And I thought they had a lot of passion and a pretty cool vision, and I was a little curious how they'd execute it. And it's cool to see them doing something big, man. That's sweet.
I hope it works out well for them. But yeah, I mean, I guess it would be kind of weird to invest in one as a caster, you know.
Why? Why? Oh.
I don't know. Then you legitimately have bias.
Fine old tribe. Fine old tribe.
Not that it matters. I mean, I also always want Jack to win because he's my boy.
Yeah, you're biased.
I am biased. I always want Jack to win. Why do you think I put him in these dumbass predictions all the time? Great. But it's okay, because Jack made it to TI,
for
so
the
my
upsets.
life is good.
Yeah, so last region we really need to talk about in detail here, North America. And this one ended up being kind of cool because we did have some South American boys participating, a couple of Canadians as well, Moon Meander, Bryle. But Forward were able to do it in the end. The big upset for this one that we can't not talk about, Complexity Gaming. Not even making top 4 to secure the playoffs. That one surprised me.
That hurts. That really hurts.
So much investment behind this team, so much hype, all the training facilities, the coaching, the analysts, and I mean, just individual names. These are good players. I'm surprised that they didn't go further. I didn't really see the game, so I can't speak in detail, but wow.
I don't know. I don't even know what you do at that point as that org. I really don't know.
Yeah. It's like, is it an individual player problem? Is it a coach problem? Is it just a team mesh problem? Like, there's certainly times where you have these lineups of all-stars and the play styles just don't work. You know, whether it's communication or the way they move around the map or not having a decisive leader, that is definitely a thing that we've seen before. But I mean, the playoffs, dude. Like, who else made top 4? Kookaburra?
Yeah.
I mean, this team's pretty good, but I think you've definitely got some credentials on Complexity that outmatch Kookaburra. Team Schlottel almost making it. Beast Coast, our boys, Mike and Brax, Susie, Mandy Moose, made it to the playoffs. Got 3rd, I think. Let's see, where's that bracket?
Yep. Yeah, they did.
Got dropped down, and then, 2-0'd by J-Storm, who went on to get beat by Forward.
That was an absolutely complete slaughter. The finals were not very enjoyable to watch. That is for sure.
Damn, 4 30-minute games.
Yeah. And, I mean, game 1, it was like, oh, shit. Uh-oh. You know, I was a little nervous for my boy Jack. And then the next 3 games were, what is it? Someone already had it. It was actually combined, 100 or something. It was really bad. 100 to 12 in the last 3 games. That was the kill scores.
Yeah.
All the games were over at 8 minutes. It was not fun to watch.
Yeah. Sorry, I confused Black Sheep with Team Schlottel. Yeah, Schlottel wasn't very close, but Black Sheep were right on the cusp. That's the Mason, I Annihilate, Boris, Bloody Nine. Dune.
Yeah. Boy couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. It's so crazy that we have one org in, okay, I guess 4 Gaming's been around pretty long now at this point between and kind of J-Storm as well. It is nice. We have a surprising amount of good orgs, and now Beast Coast is starting up, and maybe they're going to stay post-TI and everything, but
yeah,
the amount of money in coal, just that pains me. It pains me. You know, it truly just shows that Dota is just so hard.
Yeah.
These guys were probably grinding every single day for 12 or 14, no, more than that, 16 hours nonstop, practicing and scrimming. And they have every single facility you can ever imagine available to them. And they had all this time to make a team. and you can't make the playoffs. That would just be like so ridiculously crushing. I don't even know. Like, do you just nuke the whole roster?
I mean, I think you've got to be tempted because Complexity, let's go back and look historically, because I feel like this has been a recurring theme for Complexity as an org, where they've already kind of had this, all right, this roster didn't work, let's nuke it kind of a deal. Is that unfair? Am I like misremembering?
Well, they've always kept they had the brothers for a long time, right? That was the whole thing.
Right. Okay, that's true. I'm looking back. Yeah, so like Z Freak and Swindle were 2016, I think still 2015, even maybe the end of 2014. But yeah, they were a staple for like a good 3-year stretch.
Yeah, but it was like the brothers thing with Z Freak and Kyle and Limp and Chessie, and eventually it just it didn't work out. And then Hanskin was there for a while, then he's gone. They kind of cycled through the same players. They could never find that that secondary core, and I guess Miracle wasn't it this time either. Like, Limp always looks so good, but he can't pop off enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, brutal.
Sorry, I'm just looking at this video of inside their headquarters and how awesome and amazing it is.
I know, it's crazy. They have this amazing facility. So it's it'll be very curious to see what they do and how they want to keep this roster going. If they just want to ride it out and be like, the roster was still pretty new. You can't really fault them. Even if they were grinding like crazy for a month, it's still just a month. Maybe they can fix things for the next season, and I'm sure they'll be looking at shuffle stuff too, right? Same as everyone, but yeah. So as you said, though, I mean, Forward absolutely stomped the grand final after having to make their way to the finals through the upper bracket, easy peasy. Didn't drop a game in the group stage. They lost one map, right? Just that first game of the grand finals is the only game they lost the entire qualifier. So pretty obvious who was on top in this one, I think.
Yeah. So
that'll send them to the playoffs. I mean, or to TI, and that's how many of these guys have been at TI before? All of them? Yeah. And the coach. Hi, MSS, Snake King, CCNC, and you are.
Okay.
All TI gamers.
So let's take a look here and see if I can space this right. So TI9, we've got the full list now. Prize pool up to nearly 29 million.
I think it's definitely cracking 30.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Event starts August 15th. Still a long ways to go. And this is our final list of teams. Invited in order of points. And then the qualifiers from each region. 1 per slot. Forward, Infamous, Chaos, Nodus Vincier, Royal Never Give Up, and Mineski. All making it through. And they're going to join Secret, Virtus Pro, Vici, EG Liquid, LGD, Fnatic, Ninjas in Pajamas, TNC Predator, OG Alliance, and Keen.
Probably biggest surprises, I guess, out of the invites after all this was probably Alliance and Keen. Maybe even TNC, because they just finally cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole Keen storyline, but also just those players seeming to figure out the meta when it mattered the most.
A lot of European teams this TI. Pretty EU heavy lineups.
Isn't it like 6 teams or something insane?
Yeah, so we've got Secret, Liquid, NIP, OG, Alliance, and Chaos. So that's 6. And then even within that, the EG squad is majority Europeans.
Hey, whoa. Come on now.
Well,
majority.
Okay, not majority. They have some Europeans. You're right. And then, CIS, very maybe not underrepresented, but lower on the spectrum. You got VP and you got Na'Vi. So pretty tight event for CIS fans.
Oh, yeah, when you count the qualifiers, Na'Vi's my biggest surprise. I can't believe Na'Vi did it, guys. If I had to pick the biggest upset of all the qualifiers, Na'Vi would not be my, top 3 pick in CIS. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe it's just the name. But I did not have a lot of faith in these boys. I'm very impressed that they did it. No doubt about that.
It's another one of these deals where Vega looked flawless in the group stage, 7-0. Everyone else, next best score was 4-3. They were the clear favorites. And then they lost in the upper bracket finals to Windstrike 2-1. And then they lost to Na'Vi in the lower bracket finals 2-1. Didn't even make grand finals.
I mean, Gambit didn't even make playoffs. I had Gambit, dude. I thought they could do it.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with Gambit.
FNG did again. The poor guy.
I mean, Empire looks like they performed pretty well. Not surprised to see Windstrike making it far. But Na'Vi stepped it up in the finals. The current Na'Vi lineup is Crystallized Magical, Blizzy, Zayets, and Seneko.
It's a stacked roster.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I didn't have the faith. But
Did
these players have like blown me away in games before.
Did you see that clip from the Russian stream where they had that guy run in with the flag just screaming, Na'Vi, Na'Vi? And it's just like the whole I'm sure it was like intentional or planted, but they did it as like a bit where the panel just gets interrupted and the guy's going absolutely ape shit. And then he just runs off camera. You can just hear him in the background go, Davai, Davai. It was pretty good. I got a legit chuckle out of it. I was like, man, we need more of that shit in North America, dude. I love that kind of like bias pride, like in a good way, you know?
Yeah. That would be the equivalent of like bottom qualified this year or something like. Na'Vi is just the team there. I don't know. I mean, is there any other team as synonymous with a region? Maybe like
Alliance,
or something.
Alliance in Sweden. That has a country thing, but that's not a whole region the way Na'Vi is.
Like they just love Na'Vi there.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. And, I mean, as Archie says in chat, I guess the finals had some astronomical amount of viewership because Na'Vi does bring the fans. I'm not going to lie. There was a pretty good period in competitive Dota 2 where Na'Vi's brand alone secured them invites to a lot of tournaments. They weren't performing for shit, but everyone knows, like, well, you throw Na'Vi in there, and, I mean, we're going to get twice the amount of viewers for that game. English and Russian. They don't give a shit. The Russians will watch the English stream. They just want to see Na'Vi win. And when Na'Vi loses, they shut that stream off right away.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, so that rounds us out. And so, who's winning TI?
I was gonna say, are you ready for the bold prediction, dude? What do you think? What's your? Because this is like my favorite bet now. This is where you can get the odds. A lot of those booking sites are gonna start posting their full odd list if you call the winner right now ahead of time. Those are some of the most classic. I forget the name of that in the betting world, but those are classic, dude. That's where you get the big money. And so, can we find a good list? Because I bet some teams are like 200 to 1. Like I bet Infamous is 200 to 1 payout or something. 150 to 1. Something. I
see our boys at Rivalry don't have a list.
Well, it just happened, so they might not be up yet. So we won't say who. We'll just jack some numbers.
Oh, here we go. Dota 2. All right, I found some odds. Let me hit you with these. I'm seeing... Oh, okay. Here we go. Got a couple sites here. I see 200 to 1 on Infamous. That's not even that good.
See, I should be working on the odds. I knew it.
I want like 500 to 1 if I'm betting on Infamous.
And that's to win the whole kit and caboodle.
That's the whole thing.
You're right. You're just throwing money away. I mean, it's like a 0% chance. They're just not on the same level as like Secret VP EG. Like, I like these guys. I think they're like a top 8. Can I bet on them getting top 8? That's what we need. That's what that's the ultimate rivalry. This is what we need.
People losing their money. Now we're talking.
Just grab teams and then select where you think they're going to place, and then just give me some odds on that. If it even would give me like a 1.1 to 1, I'll take it.
The VP odds are the best I'm seeing. 6.5. It looks like a lot of sites have for VP to win. That's EG's 9.0. That's not bad either with LGD.
So this tool is just giving us like an average of a bunch of different sites. Okay, I like this. This is kind of cool. So, Na'Vi, 101 to 1. Mineski.
Oh, there's going to be so many people betting on that.
Mineski, 101 to 1. Again, like I could see Mineski going like top 6. I could see a Mineski top 4.
Who's putting 100 on Na'Vi, guys? 100 to 1. I mean, there's definitely so many people at CIS going for that.
Chaos.
I think 100 to 1 is actually pretty good odds for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
I mean, even EG 9 to 1, I think that's pretty good.
Oh, these are comical, dude.
9 to 1. I mean, some of these top ones aren't really that bad. Like Virtus Pro 6.5 to 1. Even Secret, they're obviously the favorite going in, 3.35 is the average if you call secret to win the whole thing right now. I don't think
not
that's
even worth
terrible.
Trying. That's it's like, don't even bother. Please do not put money on that.
I think my inner gambler is coming out here. Oh God.
Wow.
Well, and all right, there's one more thing TI wise I want to take a look at. This is one of my favorites, Trent. The country breakdown.
Ah, yes, I saw this.
So
I like
let's
the
see.
little plus minus of the year before.
Yeah, this is Liquipedia for real. And I like that we're giving them visual shout outs now, guys. Support Liquipedia. Also donate to Wikipedia, Liquipedia's big brother. So bad news for China this year, -9 compared to TI8, the year that it's in China.
That is pretty crazy.
This is in order of representation: China, Philippines, Sweden, Malaysia, Russia, Denmark, Germany, Peru, United States, Finland, Ukraine. Below that, it's 2 or just singleton. So Ukraine and Finland both at 3. United States, Peru, Germany, Denmark all at 4. How's Canada doing this year? You got
less
one.
Canadian.
You got Arteezy. That's your boy.
Who was my other Canadian at TI last year?
Oh, God. I don't even remember which teams were there. Was Envy there?
Oh, maybe he was. Was he? Can't remember what roster he was on.
I think it was
probably
EE.
NV. Yeah, it was EE for sure. It wasn't 1437. Yeah, it was
Chat's
definitely
blowing
EE.
up, dude. They're pissed.
They know. Well, Fly, yeah, I know they don't list Fly as Canadian though. There's a lot of players they don't list as Canadian, but they do list Envy and
I mean,
RTZ.
yeah, it's not fair if they count for 2. I mean, what's okay? I was gonna say, so yeah, Sumail's Pakistan. Yeah, so
Yeah.
They limit it. But yeah, not surprised. I mean, China is historically always in the top. Philippines usually is pretty represented as well. A good year for Sweden. Big year for Peru.
Alliance.
Peru went from 0 to 4. That's actually kind of cool. Shout out to all those Peruvian Dota gamers out there that don't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Way to go. TI time. And of course, the worst time of the year and the best time of the year for talent.
Yes.
Of course, you never know what's going to happen.
It's true. Yep. I guess that's always worth bringing up at this time of the year. You know, I got a little shout out thread after
I saw that
after the hub. That was interesting, unexpected, but very much appreciated. I hope most folks that upvoted or downvoted that thread saw the little comment that I posted in there. Of course, I would love to go to TI. It's still kind of my dream as a caster. I think there's this weird formula in my head that the longer I have been a caster, the more I've kind of come to appreciate it, but at the same time, I care about it a little bit less because I'm not reliant on it for income nearly as much as I used to be. And that dynamic is great because it lets me have so much more fun when we're casting and take some risk and just be a genuine person. You know, I'm not thinking about, oh, is this over the line? I'm just thinking, is this going to be fucking funny? Is this going to make Trent laugh and break up the monotony of this broadcast, you know? So it's cool that we're at a point in our careers where we can kind of get away with that a little bit. And who knows? I kind of thought my casting career was done until the last DPC circuit when we did the Bucharest Major and then we did the Super Major and we're getting all that love on Reddit.
Just enough to get your hopes up.
Just enough to pull on my heartstrings. But that was a crazy year. Like I felt like since I quit BTS, okay, the next 6 months are probably going to be my last 6 months being a caster. You know, if I don't get a gig in the next 4 months, I really I got to start finding other projects or applying for jobs or doing something to start making out that lost income. And consistently over the last 4 or 5 years, that one more gig just keeps coming. Whenever I'm getting close to that, it's been 4 months. There's some emergency. Hey, we need you to cast this. The people bailed out. Or hey, we're doing a hub. You want to come back to the BTS studio? Sure. Yeah, great. Sounds awesome. So I'm just kind of riding the roller coaster, man. I thought I'd never go to another TI past TI7 or something, and here we are still talking about it. So TI9, who knows? I'm already committed to Denver. Hopefully that wasn't a fucking mistake. Hopefully I wasn't on the list, and they were like, all right, well, that's one more we can cross off. Dummy dug his own grave. Who knows? It was a gamble, right? But with the data I had, and based on not getting invited last year, I was like, I want to do something, you know. So I'm going to roll the dice on making an event happen rather than not. If that potentially cost me, well, you know, who knows?
Shout out to anyone who doesn't make that event either. That's gonna be the true sadness, dude. I saw so much that chat. I kind of had the same thought.
Oh, well.
But we don't want to see anyone's hearts broken.
Well, so here's the plan. I can reveal this a little bit, I think, even though we haven't announced it.
A tease, perhaps?
Yeah. So the game plan, talent-wise, is we're going to do some hand selection. There are some people that we are, if they don't get invited, we definitely want to bring them to our event that have already, kind of agreed. Like, yeah, if I don't go to China, I definitely want to do this instead. So those people are somewhat lined up. But we are going to try to do something that captures the spirit of community votes and saying, like, hey, who do you guys want here? Who should have been invited to TI that wasn't invited this year that you want to see on camera do some stuff at our TI9 Jungle Jam? So we're still working.
You see that Reddit thread? Just invite MP.
MP?
Yeah, he got kicked, right? And he didn't get onto the...
Yeah, that's a bummer. So anyway, we'll see. The spirit is to try to, fill some of that gap, but you're definitely right, man. A line will get drawn somewhere inevitably. We can't invite everyone. I don't have enough money. So, that's just the reality of it, I guess. Just like some players had their hearts broken this season, some casters might also have their hearts broken this season, Trent. It's rough out there.
Okay, you can't break them any more than the TI invite does. So, I mean, they're dead inside once you don't get the TI invite anyway.
Yeah. Do you think EE would come?
Right.
I mean, I'd invite him. So here's the problem.
EE would... no, he wouldn't come, actually.
The problem is that it's delayed. I think a lot of the players that would be really ideal candidates for this will get the invitation and say, but I got to wait to watch the games.
EE's definitely going to Shanghai. No doubt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of them will just go, right? Yeah. But even if they weren't, I think it's very unappealing for players on that level of just like they're not going to wait to be spoiled. They're not normies like us that can be like, yeah, I'm getting paid to be here. Sure, I'll just not look at Twitter until after we start the broadcast. Dude, they're going to be fiending that shit. They want to know the second it's happening. They're on the pulse, man. It's just a different mentality, and I think it would be torture to lock them in this cage for the main event, waiting to only watch replays. But we'll see. We're still working out the invites and getting some stuff figured out, but I'm excited. It's already a pretty poppin' talent list. Some international folks.
I'm personally looking forward to the predictions for everything for this year because we got 30 days, ladies and gentlemen, for your compendium predictions. So that's going to be your heroes, your teams, your player stuff, your tournament predictions. So I think the next time we podcast, well, maybe not next time, but before TI, we need to make sure that we help the people. We have to do a predictions podcast. Dude,
totally
in. I need to let this meta settle, though. I want to see how good Bloodseeker is with these buffs.
Totally in. I love the prediction podcast. That's a classic this time of year.
We got to beat Purge and Slacks.
Well, it seems so cliche, but it actually does lead a shitload of clicks. There's a reason that everybody does it because it's what everyone's talking about. Everyone is just thinking like, oh, what's going on? I want the inside scoop. Who's going to win? Is my team going to make it? Is Europe going to dominate or will they be dominated? The conclusion after this.
Dun dun.
But no, this is the hype time of year, dude. Busy time, but exciting time. I have been grinding away, my friend. I'm like 90% of the way through the edits on the book. I think August 19th is our date. I've been saying it so timidly publicly because I don't want to be held to it, but I think we're there. I've got an artist. I've got a guy that specializes in ebooks. I've got an editor. Slacks is 100% in for the audiobook. I talked to him about it this morning. We put it on the schedule. We got a goddamn plan, dude. I think this thing's fucking happening.
It's in there. What's happening before TI? WCG starts on the 18th, and then there's just Summit, and then there's just some random stuff, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, this is that time of year where a lot of teams don't really want to play. There was another tournament for NA scheduled in the next couple of weeks, but that got canceled. There's a We Play Open Underlords tournament for 15K that I'm planning on playing in. Because
when's that, dude? Let's make some money.
I think it's the 27th and 28th. It's a 2-day tournament.
Is that a weekend?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh. Why not on a weekend?
Well, because that's when normies can play instead of...
I have a family.
Instead of working. Well, I know. But, yeah, I wanted to cast it, but I guess I'm going to play instead. So that should be fun. I need to practice up my Underlords.
Oh, cast Underlords. Come on, dude. What even is that? Don't we just play Underlords and do this?
Well, yeah, but I still want to get paid to do that.
All right, that's true.
If they'd hire me, I'd happily do it and make the game sound fun and exciting. But... playing is definitely fun too. What if we win, dude?
I highly doubt it.
We're ordering in tonight, boys.
I'm
Woo!
actually so bad at Underlords. I don't know. I think I just don't. Well, no, I'm just bad at it, I guess. I haven't made the effort to understand it enough, I guess.
Oh, hey. Well, shout out to Sir Action Slacks. So, gang, announcement of an announcement time. There's a big Moonduck announcement coming very soon. Did you see the VR Roshan, by the way, Trent?
I did. Yes, I was excited that that was out to the public,
Yeah,
to the people.
Any thoughts about that that Midas mode teaser there? If you were a fan, would you buy a VIP ticket to, quote, beat the shit out of the pros?
Yes, I would. No, actually, wait, how expensive is it?
$300 for the whole event for a VIP ticket. It's a
yeah,
9-day event. So
that's the thing. I love Dota, and there's no other lands. So as frugal and cheap as I am, and totally not to shill for my own event, yeah, I would still buy it.
Okay, well, so here's the problem. We're sold out of VIP tickets. So, guys, you got to get your regular tickets. You got to get your regular tickets. They're going to be good. I think we're going to add some little extras onto the regular tickets to get people in there. Maybe some like random selection type stuff, so it's not just a full separation between the VIPs and the normies.
Well, Dota players love their loot boxes.
Dude, some of you normies might get the chance to be upgraded to VIPs. All right, you're going to get a taste of what it feels like to be one of Slacks' victims. I don't know if it's good to be a VIP, honestly, because that puts you in the pool for all of the community interaction stuff. The VR thing, it might be torture. You saw in the video, he couldn't take it off once he put it on. So you might get locked in there, and you're going to have to stand up to the bully that is Sir Action Slacks when you're in the way of his content. So, what's that classic? Be careful what you wish for. I think that is the VIP ticket at Midas mode. So get those normie tickets,
Excellent.
gang. There is a limit. They might sell out. The merch is also going to be top-notch. I did just write a massive check to our new merch partners for a fuckload of merch. There's going to be some at the TI9 event and even more at the Midas Mode event. So that's exciting. And,
I can't wait for Midas Mode.
And, keep your eyes and ears peeled for the next big announcement because there is a big one coming, and I can't wait to see your reactions. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, it's going to be good. Midas Mode.
If you have a VIP ticket, you have to sit in the splash zone. That sounds about right. That's a good equivalent. Yeah.
Can we do that?
We're going to do...
Will you be able to get merch online if you can't be there in person? That's a great question.
So we'll see. At first, we're going to see how well stuff sells. There's a fair chance that the surplus that we have left over, we're going to open up to sell online. But kind of TBD. It's a big numbers game, and since this is our first time doing events in Colorado, we're ordering big. We under-ordered merch for Captain's Draft 4, so I was instructed by the powers to be at Moonduck that I needed to go big on merch this time. So when you say go big, I say how big?
Huge.
Perfect. As big as you want. All right. Well, I think that's it, Trent. I think we're done with this one.
I have a bow on it.
Shout out to Rivalry for making this possible. You can find this at the YouTube of Moonduck, youtube.com/moonducktv. The audio only at Zyori.tv. Exciting stuff in the works. We'll be back again before TI. Town invites should be right around the corner. So much to look forward to. And hopefully you'll join us for the TI Jungle Jam or Midas Mode. Come hang out with us in Denver, man. We're going to party. It's going to be awesome. We can have a lot of fun. You, me, and Dupree. All right, see you later, gang.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, the local is finished.
Hi, everybody.
Zyori Bongwater. Honestly, I'd buy it. Now, that's an idea. I can one-up this bath bitch.
My Dota client says that Slacks is currently playing Wrath of the Mordecai. His game just started. He's playing Warlock, guys.
So, do you think that bathwater girl is crazy or genius?
Genius. Are you serious?
Completely.
Did you see she's auctioning her piss off for 10K, too?
Really? She's auctioning her piss?
Yeah, she said she's only going to do one, though.
Dude, that's a whole nother level of women's rights. You're putting it out there. Dude, her content's weird, though. I watched some of it on Instagram. It's weird. She's like eating raw eggs and shit. It's like kind of cross-playing as an animal. Looks like a little bunny.
I've never seen anything.
I don't get it.
I only know this information.
Who does it appeal to? I get that it's popular, but who's her average viewer? I'd love to see the breakdown of her demographics, dude. I'm so curious.
Male, 22 to 35.
I bet it skews
Single?
shockingly old, dude. I bet it's like bulk 40 to 65, which is scary and creepy. But I mean, that is the sad reality. Those numbers are